And, friends, I invite you to the glorious occasion of the reenactment of the marriage of Isis and Osiris, of you and me and all those who marry, even if we are unmarried, for we have our true partners in spirit world, even if not on earth. We are going to participate in the reenactment of the Isis wedding rite of the Fellowship of Isis between a priestess and a priest Hierophant, Vivian and Chris O'Regan. Chris is preparing for his consecration as Hierophant, who is so by appointment now. Anoint your forehead with water to awaken your third eye, for this is an astral ceremony. Relax. This is going to make you feel happy. Rise from your body. And you move into our time and place, in a lovely time of early spring in Inishfoil, land of Ireland. Come then to the Western Hemisphere and see this green island ringed around with mountains like a cup, the Grail. And within this lovely island is a valley of the river Slaney and Derry that join each other and flow together, the crow's foot of the goddess Morrigan, who unites with her husband, the god Dagda, with their legs astride a river. Within these two rivers is a circle of 7 hills and many, many trees, copses, groves of oak trees, yew trees. And you come with me, and at first you sink down through a long yew walk. Feel yourself gliding into the darkness of a lovely yew walk, speckled with golden light. Come down. Now you emerge at the end, and you come with me across a beautiful garden. Lovely. And you see a flying ruin, an ancient chapel of an abbey, and above it is a lovely cherry tree in full flower, pink blossoms. Let us approach the bridal and bridegroom procession, for in the Isis wedding rite, bride and bridegroom come together. They are never separated, nor is the bride given away by anyone. She chooses. We enter this wonderful chapel. It's full of primroses are still there, and the odd bluebell and flowering shrubs, and it's canopied by pink blossoms, and the pink blossoms are now at this time of Beltane lying when they fall onto the grey dolmen altar. But we can't see them very well because there's a figure with a beautiful glistening white veil embroidered with gold seated upon it. The bride and bridegroom are facing this figure, and they hold each other's hands. Now a priest steps forward and invokes in this temple of Dharma no less than the goddess of love herself.
Great goddess Dharma, I call to invoke you this day. Come to us to witness this great rite of marriage.
All now place their hands upon the dolmen. However, we wish to invoke the goddess Venus, known throughout the world and throughout the fellowship, Aphrodite, and the priest lifts up his hands and addresses her.
Violet-crowned Krisha, violet-crowned Cytherea, stately Aphrodite, Venus of the morning and evening star, we invoke thy aid. Come to us, borne by the moist breath of the western wind, that wind that once wafted thee over the loud moaning sea in soft foam, while the gold-filleted hours welcome thee joyously. Come to us, in the heavenly garments wherein the hours clothed thee, on thy head a fine well-wrought crown of gold, and in thy pierced ears ornaments of orichalc, and golden necklaces over thy soft neck and snow-white breasts, which the hours wear when they join in the lovely dances of the deities. Thou who givest kindly gifts to men, bestow on us beauty, joy, and love.
My dear ones, now that the time of true marriage has come upon the earth. During thousands of years, men turned to their mothers rather than their wives, the deep earth mother, at the time of the matriarchal simple gatherers and hunters. Then during the time of my consort, the god, and men gave their daughters in marriage, and the mothers acceded to this, for they wished to have healthy progeny, and they had elected marriages. So the children, their children may remain children. They never really matured emotionally. The women gave birth to their progeny. The men turned to hunting and to fighting. And as this developed more and more, people turned away from our rights of love. For the rights of love know no laws, only the laws of nature. And who would have his daughter a princess marry a slave, or indeed to have his son and heir marry a milkmaid or a dancing girl? All was in the hands of a powerful priesthood who chose. I, Aphrodite, stood aside for my beloved sister Juno, queen of marriages, and in its time this was good. But, my friends, as this new era dawns, we have men who are lost, who turn to their mother, and yet are desecrating her earth. The women look for strength and guidance in their husbands, and find they are faced with men who can create mighty monuments, who can fly in the air, who can create these ships under the sea, but who cannot love them as a woman would be loved. So the women turn to their fathers, to gurus, to magicians, to anyone who will show them the way. So, my daughter, I'm happy so suddenly to speak through you, to tell you that I rejoice to see an enchantress and a magician marry. The bride does not turn to her father, nor does the magician to his mother. They and their marriage shall go forth throughout the world. Go forth with my blessing. Bride and bridegroom express their thanks for the blessing of Aphrodite. Beloved Aphrodite, we do thank thee from the bottom of our hearts for thy blessing upon our rite of marriage and thy wisdom.
Thank you, my beloved Aphrodite. This rite will be with me forever.
And some may see a light descending upon the head of both bride and bridegroom, uniting them and descending upon all. A procession is formed, led by the bard of the Druids, who approach the castle. They wind out of this abbey by another gateway, and they cross a forecourt, which is at the head of a great avenue of limes through which the company are awaiting. The bridal procession now reach the steps of the castle, and there is a guardian standing before it, arms folded. The door way is slightly open, and the priest Hierophant, Lawrence Durden Robertson, addresses the guardian.
On the bard of the Druids, who is it that seeks admittance to this holy temple of Isis?
Reverend priest of Isis, there are two standing without, seeking to be united in the rite of matrimony.
This is well. While the guardian of the gate, allow them to enter.
The priest of Isis bids you enter.
A wonderful procession is now formed, led by the priest Hierophant and the priestess Hierophant, Olivia Robertson, and then the bride and bridegroom, temple maidens, the priesthood, and about 50 people who've been awaiting, having moved in procession up the great avenue, and they follow. There is the sound of distant music and the tolling of a bell, and the procession makes its way down in a twisting stone pathway into the temple of Isis itself. They enter now the chapel of Brigid, the triple goddess of Era, and a well lies open. It is 17 feet in depth and is pre-Druidic. The castle was built round it for ever fresh water. And we see now another veiled priestess, this time wearing lovely robes of blue and green, and the priest addresses her, and we see that there's the shrine of the mermaid goddess Deceto of the well nearby.
Most beautiful goddess Deceto, queen of the oceans, whose fish's tails hath the stars of our galaxy for its shining scales, come to us with thy gifts of prophecy and love, vision and ecstasy.
All wait, hoping an oracle will be granted. Then they hear a woman's voice, and some see a light around her.
From the rushing waters of tempests, and through the still calms of tranquil seas come my gifts. For there is no joy without happy emotion, no vision and no heaven without love. The love I bring is the union of twin souls, for water joins with water in perfect harmony. Every soul thirsts for love. This secret longing is cunningly concealed under long words and the maze-like ploys of the intellect. It is masked by obsession for power and riches. Yet though great nations and empires pass, and worldly treasure is lost in the transient tides of life and death, there is no death for those who love. Oblivion comes when the soul is dried up with material cares. It can only be revived through love. The love I bring is deep and true, and is not the pretense of a premeditated emotion. It springs as easily in a deer seeking a mate, in a seal feeding her young, as it does in two human lovers finding ecstasy in union. The god Dagon hath his sea tail coiled through the depths of ocean, as man coileth about the Milky Way. Yet are we both in union. All goodness comes from harmony, and a joyful chorus of peace springs from love. Music is the utterance of the heart, and colour is its aura. The greatest gift of the goddess is love for another, and this love overwhelms the isolation of the separate self. In the manner when the soul returns to the everlasting mother, it is as a river that finds its goal in the all-embracing sea. For the Father orders and rules justly. It is the mother to whom the soul turns for comfort. When all worldly ambitions fail, when striving for success falters, then the eternal bliss of true fulfillment is found in my starry arms. There you will enjoy content in your eternal haven. For when a soul hath bravely overcome the storms of unruly emotions, my sign, the rainbow of harmony, joins earth with heaven, and my love brings the olive branch of peace.
In silence, the bride and bridegroom alone enter the Holy of Holies, the chapel of crystals, and the bride, Vivian, gazes into the crystal of the goddess Ishtar and speaks of what she sees.
I see within the crystal the star of Isis, Sirius, the place of twin souls, and I see come forth light and peace and harmony to all beings from that special place.
The priest is gazing at the Egyptian crystal before the figures of Isis and Osiris, and he may see and speak.
I see within the crystal the two that were one. I see truth and love, everlasting.
They now leave the crystal chapel, and the procession makes its way outside the ancient dungeon, now no dungeon, but dedicated to the Holy Mother Goddess herself. Here the bride and bridegroom enter, and the priestess prays to the Mother of us all.
Deep Mother of the earth, who has brought forth all life upon this planet, we ask for your blessing this day as we enter upon the path of the hearth fire together. We seek your blessing on our union as husband and wife.
The priest now addresses the Holy Mother.
Great Mother, Mother of us all, be with me, be with my wife. Let us always be together.
The procession makes its way down a long passage of 9 columns and through a chapel of fire and to the chapel of healing, where there is the winged Isis with Orion and Sirius painted on either side, and the god Horus rising from the earth, and the priestess Hierophant gives them holy water and magical sand, potions, and the priestess invokes the winged Isis of the stars on behalf of her Lyceum, of Isis and Sapphire of the stars.
Lady of divine and cosmic wisdom, great Isis Urania, Isis of the stars, we ask for your blessing on our Rite and upon the Lyceum, that we would always hope would continue to bring forth the mysteries of the College of Isis and continue the most valuable work of the fellowship, that our union be reflected in the love we feel for all our membership and for all members of the fellowship throughout the world.
This brings joy to those people present who are following the Pillar of Isis course of Vivian. They feel encouraged by her words, and the priest Hierophant now invokes the god Horus of the new Aeon.
People of the earth, people of the stars, followers of great Horus, know now that the time has come for us to join as one, and the fellowship shall be our banner.
So mote it be. The company now make their way to the beautiful altar of Vesta, where the pair light candles for their intention. Each expresses an intention with this candle.
May the pain that has been wrought upon the earth be healed by love and wisdom and the caring of all.
Let there be honour within all warriors.
Now each of the company light their own candle, and we hear their murmuring, and they light adjacent candles as there are so many people. The company make their way, the priesthood and the bride and bridegroom, before the high altar, which is before two pillars, and the rest of the company are all round the temple, waiting for the ceremony to begin. The Hierophant speaks.
In the name of the goddess, she who embodies love, beauty and truth, you too, and all who are here assembled, are welcome.
You're welcome.
We welcome you both.
We welcome you both. Now comes the invocation of the goddesses, and the priestess bride invokes the goddess Isis of 10,000 names.
Great Isis, I invoke thee and honour thee, and would ask for your blessing this day upon our ritual of marriage in your name of Isis and your Lord Osiris.
The bridegroom now invokes the god Osiris of Sirius.
Osiris, great god of Egypt, I bid you welcome to our rite. I bid you to come and be with us with your great wife Isis.
The priestess now invokes the goddess Dana of the Tutha De Danann.
Divine Dana, Dana of the golden hair, I invoke you and ask your presence at this rite to witness the union of these two children of the land.
As a priest of the mysteries, the bard invokes no less than Menannen Maclear, the god of the wisdom of Atlantis, Merlin of Era.
I ask for the mighty Menannen Maclear, rider of the waves, rider of the inner waves, to come and be present at this union of two souls.
I invoke the goddess Basht, goddess of all animal nature, that she may bless us and her priest, the bridegroom.
Strong is Isis to bless those who call upon her. May she therefore bless this wedding rite.
Now the bridegroom reads from a book given to him of the immortal words of the priest of Isis at the time of Augustus, or later, Lucius Apuleius, and he describes his actual experience which led to his conversion.
The goddess Isis rejoices to come to those who call on her. When I had ended my invocation at night by the seashore, there appeared to me from the midst of the sea a divine and venerable face, worshipped even by the gods themselves. Then, little by little, as I seemed to see the whole body bright and mounting out of the sea and standing before me, first she had a great abundance of hair, flowing and curling, and a crown on her head she bore the garlands of flowers, and in the middle of her forehead was a plain circlet in fashion of a mirror, or rather resembling the moon by the light of which came forth. Her vestments were the finest linen, yielding divine colours. Her cloak was utter dark, and obscure coloured with shining black. Here and the stars were glimpsed. In her right hand she bore a sistrum, and in her left she bore the cup of gold, like unto a boat. The divine shape spoke to me.
Behold, Lucius, I am come. Thy prayer has moved me to succour thee. I am she that is the natural mother of all things, mistress of all the elements, chief of the powers divine, queen of all that are in Elysium, the principal of them that dwell in heaven. I am come to favour and aid thee. Behold, the healthful day is come, which is ordained by my providence. So spake the goddess Isis. Before the ceremony takes place, the company are silent, meditating upon this vision of the universal goddess. And I want you to take a pause now and visualize this scene. There is the golden statue of Isis of 10,000 names, surrounded by 4 pillars upon an altar. Stands before the 2 pillars. The priestess bride, thickly veiled, and wears a deep bluish green, ornamented with gold. And the bridegroom is wearing his priestly robes that are of various brown colours. It suggests that he has worked with the Wiccan, or works with the Wiccan tradition, the colours of green and brown of nature, yet with the amethyst and gold of the magician, uniting his 2 practices. And we see the priest and priestess Hierophant, Olivia and Lord, standing back, as it were, on either side of the altar, the priest in the high headdress of the priest with 2 entwined gold snakes, black and blue, black academic robe, and the ankh. The priestess Hierophant is wearing the brilliant red sari of an ancient Indian marriage robe, all embroidered with gold, and a priestess's tiara and ornaments. All the priestesses are very colourfully robed and wear tiaras, Egyptian headdresses, not from vanity, but because each jewel, each garment resembled, has symbolic meaning. There's heavy incense rising and music. Enter now into contemplation of love and marriage and your own twin soul. We are incomplete without love, and we must love another. We can't see ourselves, only the tip of our noses and our feet. We can't see our back at all. We can't see ourselves. We can only see love and beauty in another. Visualize now your own beloved through a veil like a silver mirror. Death does not divide. There is no death. Love is eternal, as Elizabeth Barrett Browning wrote, was a spiritualist. Feel a glow in your heart center, tingling glow. A rosy glow round your aura and gold. Those whom you love are with you now, even if they are through the valley of death. Love comes through many incarnations, many loves, many lives. And as you are true to yourself, so shall you find your love When you are false to yourself, you are divided from your love. As you draw nearer to the goddess, you draw nearer to your lover. For in her are all our loves, our children, our lost children, young animals, trees, plants. For nature is her wedding robe. Friends, you are dreamily seated in the temple of Isis, and you are dreaming of love that nobody likes to talk about too much, if it's of a romantic sort that isn't very much there, but you are now astrally projected, and you can be as romantic as you like. For here, in a greater real world, it is the beautiful, romantic and dreamy things that are true, and the cruel, ugly, fighting stupidity and materialism that just isn't here, it's not real. However, the company now rise to their feet, having had this brief contemplation, for the climax is now coming. We are to have the wedding rite itself. The priestess Hierophant, Olivia Robertson, blesses the sacred elements. May these elements of water, fire, and earth, air and ether be hallowed for this rite. The bride and bridegroom now stand before Olivia and Lawrence in front of the high altar. Olivia, who is the Hierophant, takes the cup of water and, dipping her middle finger in it, marks bridegroom and bride on the forehead. Through this water from a holy well may true vision awaken in each brow.
Bride and bridegroom shall now themselves enact the rite.
In all wedding ceremonies of religions, the bride and bridegroom rarely marry themselves, so now the priest and priestess Hierophant leave the high altar, the raised dais, and the bride and bridegroom take their place. And now you notice temple maidens are bearing in an ancient Chinese table on which are the holy elements, and a small fire is burning. Now, the Hierophant instructs the bride and bridegroom. She lifts up a little clay pot with which her own dear niece Lilian and her husband, Swedish Purin, were married, and she gives it to them. It has smoking incense within it. She says, "Together shall you hold a pot of fire, so may you use creative will for good." Now, they hold this pot up in the air and hold it with both hands together. The Hierophant says, "Water now is added to this fire. Let calm emotion harmonize with will." Note this is an ancient Brahmin ceremony. It deals with the spiritual side of marriage, the uniting of the sacred elements. The second temple maiden comes forth, beautifully garlanded with flowers, and hands a cup of water to the Hierophant, who gives it to bridegroom and bride, offers it to them. They both in turn dip the middle finger into the water and allow some few drops to fall into the pot. The Hierophant says, The element of air, symbol of mind, may well combine with water and with fire. At this point in this very, very thousands of year old ceremony, the bride and bridegroom lift up the pot with the water and the incense in it, and together hold it high in the air. They then move it so that the smoke moves around in a circle. Hierophant. Strength and abundance from the fruitful earth must now be added through these grains of oats. The second temple maiden hands the Hierophant a bowl of oats. The Hierophant proffers this to the bride and bridegroom. Each in turn take a few grains which are dropped into the pot held for them by the priest. This ceremony, thousands of years ago, had no speaking, but the priest and priestess do need to explain to an assembly what is going on, which in old days would have been understood. The Hierophant. Ether, through this oil, blends water, earth, fire, and air. These two spirits likewise find mutual harmony. So there is oil now dropped into the oil. Now the priest addresses the company.
Now it is needful for the Hierophant to tie the eternal knot.
Yes, although these two people have married themselves before the high altar, with the sacred elements now all in the pot, they have to have the blessing of the community, the eternal knot tied. So they place the pot upon the little table with the other elements. This is an interesting point, that millions of Irish people saw this ceremony in 1975 on the Irish television. Then it was all over the country. And on Easter Day, it was placed between the Pope's address to the world and that of the Protestant Archbishop of Dublin. So the ceremony was taken completely seriously, but particularly the tying of the knot was regarded as peculiarly important. So now the priestess Hierophant takes two handkerchiefs which are held at one corner by bride and bridegroom, and she takes the other corner, and before the assembled company she ties the eternal knot. On this occasion she addresses the bride and bridegroom. Know that in this ancient Indian custom, belonging also to our ancient ancestors, the Indo-Europeans, freedom was demanded in marriage, so that both pair could drop the corner of the marriage at any time, but could not untie a knot. And that means you cannot untie the knot of any other relationship you've had, because it's all a part of the tapestry of life. Because the Irish wedding rite cannot be dissolved, it is indissoluble, and it is also, you cannot have divorce. But that means you cannot deny your other loves. They're all part of the tapestry of your many lives. But each knot is of a different colour, a different silk, a different meaning. So therefore, you leave the knot now with Isis. She guards this and makes it a part of the tapestry of life, while you are left free, yet you know the knot is a part of the divine plan. And now the priestess places the knot round the base of the very statue of Isis itself, and on this occasion she puts her finger and takes the oil, some of the oil and water from the pot and places it on the knot itself. Now the priest addresses the company.
As in the memorial custom, let us now 3 times walk round the holy fire, following first the path of the sun.
Now the priest leads the bride and bridegroom round the fire. Visualize them moving the path of the sun left to right round the fire. led by the priest holding incense. One. Two. Three. Well ties the union. Hierophant speaks. That their union be complete, let bride and bridegroom alone tread the path of the moon. This is very mystical and new. Isis inspired this. Alone now, away from any patriarchal or matriarchal rule. You don't, she says to bride and bridegroom, go round the fire 3 times on your own. This time you are holding hands. One. Two. Seems as if they're moving around forever. There's a dream-like feeling to this. 3. Hierophant now faces the company. In the name of the goddess Isis, I declare that you are married.
In the name of the priesthood of Isis, I bear witness that these two are married.
The priestess of Artemis of the Fellowship of Isis witnesses the marriage in the name of the Isian priesthood.
In the name of the priesthood of Isis, I bear witness that these two are married.
The bard, in the name of the bardic druid clan of Dana, accepts the marriage.
In the name of the bards and the druids of Ireland, I bear witness that these two are married.
The time has come to acknowledge the religion of the land, which is connected through the Princess Sakota of Egypt with Ara, and with India, with the Nebu who first started this ceremony. So the priestess of Artemis bids us remember.
The call of the she is heard by the souls of those who seek eternal happiness.
Let us listen to the fairy poem of the Irish god Midir, with life at time. We had become incarnate here on earth.
Here there's a beautiful dance as an Irish movement, and yet it seems to belong to Atlantis and Egypt. Just imagine a dance, and they pause for a moment, and the bridegroom now calls upon the bride to enter into the spiritual realms of magic.
O fair-haired woman, will you come with me to the marvellous land full of music? There none speak of mine or thine. Pleasant to the eyes are the plains of Ara, but there are a desert in the great plain. It is one of those of the wonders of the land, that youth does not change into age, There all men are noble without blemish. There women weave enchantments of joy. We see around us on every side, yet no man seeth us. The ignorance of humans hides us from their sight. O Lady, if thou wilt come to my strong people, a crown of purest gold shall shine upon thy head.
Women of the She awaken immortal longings in earthly men. Such a one was Niall of the golden hair. As the mortal Oisin stood upon the shore of Loch Lena, she came to him, riding upon a white steed across the water. She bade him come with her to Tir na Nog, the magical land beyond the Western Ocean.
Delightful is the land beyond all dreams, fairer than aught thine eyes have seen. There all the year the fruit is upon the tree, and all the year the bloom is on the flower. There with wild honey drip the forest trees, with stores of mead and wine shall never fail. No pain, no sickness knows the dweller there. Death and decay come near him nevermore. The feast shall cloy not, nor the dance shall tire, nor music seek forever through the hall. The gold and jewels of the land of youth outshine all splendours ever dreamt of man. A crown of sovereignty thy brow shall wear, and by thy side a magic blade shall hang, and thou shalt be the lord of all the land of youth, and spouse of Niam of the hair of gold. The dance resumes, a dance of the She, the fiery folk of the spirits of the elements, who many with psychic vision can see. Now the temple maiden speaks.
So each to each the man and woman call, to that which is the secret wish of all. The veil between the fairy world and ours may sometimes vanish for enchanted hours.
To find the other is to find oneself. All nature is expressed in one loved face.
The dance ceases as the dancers sink to the floor, and the bride now ascends the priestly chair in order to bring the company to the land of Tir na Nog through an enchanted journey. Come with her to Tir na Nog. We travel to the west. Into the west we travel. Our feet are fleet upon the paths of gold and green. We fly in enchantment with a host of fairy folk come from the land of Tir na Nog. We travel with them the mystic paths, the way of the She, and enter there the place where stands the lords and ladies of the She, with tables spread with fine fruits and flowers, wines and meads. They salute our bridal party and welcome us to their company. They have gifts to give to all who would tread the fairy way. Bright ornaments, weapons that are not made of iron or steel, but of enchanted metals, that bring only peace and wisdom and understanding, that guard and defend, but do not bring aggression or warfare. There are steeds of white, milky white steeds,
with harnesses of gold. There are palaces and woodlands and boats that are made from swans, the wood in the shape of swans. There are adventures to be had here for those who would tread this way. There is love beyond all human understanding. There is peace. There is joy. We spend what time we need there. We take our nourishment, and we salute the lady of the land of youth, great Dana, who is the mother of all the people of Dana, mother of the gods and goddesses, mother of the people of this land. It is her pathways that we walk. It is her protection, her bounty. Thus we are guided back to our own place. And as with the mysteries written of by the Bard of England in Midsummer Night's Dream, the fairy folk will bring their bounty to us this night and bless this marriage. The speaker, the bride, is silent, and we are in Tir Minogue. Experience this. Happiness is now. Love, and we reach the farthest stars, but talk too much of love, and it disappears. It has to be protected like a frail flower. When one opens one's eyes, it is beautiful to see the expression on people's faces, especially children who are wearing their garlands of flowers for the ceremony. They become rapt, they enter the world of fairy, heaven, so easily. All the moments of greatest ecstasy between lovers belong to eternal reality, and may be refound when one has found deity. But if we chase love and force it, it disappears. As the cloud is obscured, as the cloud obscures the sun. Love comes unexpectedly like a sunbeam. Can't be imprisoned. Can't put a bird in a cage and let it fly. It should fly. That is the new age love. Perfect freedom. If you're not a friend of a bird, it will come back to you for a while and then go off again, so it should. I think I'm picking up the thoughts I often do of those who are in meditation. But one of the pleasures of love is it's unexpected. It can happen in any day. A crowded supermarket, or an office, even in grief, suddenly. That's the nature of Aphrodite, laughter. April Fool's Day is her day. Lovers are fools, happy fools. And the fool it is who atones.
and the clever ones often don't get there. Ran, the bard, reads of an ancient Greek dilemma.
Yes, priestess, pray resolve my dilemma. For long years I have studied the ancient knowledge, until mine eyes are dim, and my head aches. Yet, though devoted to my studies, when eventide falls and I light my lamp, I am sore distracted. Once in the hours of midnight, when the bear was wheeling alongside of booties, and all the earthly nations lay locked in weary slumber, to my bolted doorway Eros came a-knocking. I rose at once and lighted a lamp and let him in. He bent his bow and arrow, and to the very heart he stoned me. Now I am torn in two ways. This is my question. Which do I choose? Truth, my love?
Which do you choose? The priestess replies, know that the lamp of truth enlightens the soul, but it is in the darkness that love is to be found. Truth and love are one, and are in harmony. Day and night are one, man and woman are one, humanity and nature are one. The cosmos is in harmony. The company now gives thanks to the deities. The bride thanks Isis. We give thanks to Isis for the wisdom and love she has brought this day. Osiris is thanked.
Osiris, thank you. Thank you for being with us and bringing your strength and wisdom to us. We thank you.
We give thanks to Diana for joy and creativity.
We give thanks to Magnanimity of the Waves for being present at the ceremony.
The priest Hierophant sends forth the company as a blessing.
I'll give the blessing of Isis to the company.
And Olivia gives the fellowship blessing. In the name of the goddess Isis, may all beings be blessed, especially our dear bride and bridegroom. And our smiling. But we begin to fade from our sight, like the soft scent of roses begins to leave, and they become dim, and you and I begin rising up through the temple of Isis, through the castle, and above the land of Era. Now there's a glow in your own heart, and you feel happiness and love and hope, and you look down for a moment upon the castle with its trees and the lovely pink tree, but now it is covered with a mist, and you become more aware of your earthly self. You come back. Good, you're back now in your own body, your own time and place. I'm Olivia Robertson of the Fellowship of Isis, Tornigall Castle, Enniscorthy, South Ireland. Write to us at any time. I've been helped by our priestess Hierophant, Vivian O'Regan, who's written, I think, a wonderful book called The Pillar of Isis, a course in spirituality, published by Aquarium Press. It's a course of her Lyceum of Isis and Sapphire of the Stars, and here was her husband, Chris O'Regan of the Wiccan tradition, and our priestess of Artemis, Elizabeth Taylor, who's the most beautiful artist, who does lovely paintings of goddesses who look rather like herself. And there's Brian Burgess, who is deeply involved in classical and Atlantean tradition, and my brother Lawrence Durden Robertson. The Isis wedding rite has been celebrated all over the world. You may like to hear a part of the introduction. To find the other is to find oneself. All nature is expressed in one loved face. So says the bard of the Druids in our wedding rite. To unite with another soul is the goal of the lover. Through this unity, selfishness and loneliness fade away. When twin souls unite in divine union, it is through discovery of the immortal beloved that they find their own real selves. When a swan loses its mate, he or she sadly swim up and down our river Derry. Alone, they never find another mate. Such is the truth underlying the Egyptian myth of Isis searching for her husband. She was perfect wife, he perfect husband. In classical Greece, Plato brought forth the ideal of twin souls, divided and discovering reunion through love. And Elizabeth Barrett Browning, whom I quote during our ceremony, wrote her sonnet to the Portuguese, celebrating her love for Robert Browning. May you yourself feel within you knowledge of your own true love mirrored within your heart.